Song number 10, Find You, is another relatively straightforward song. You'll see that it's not as simple as Ice Age, but at least in terms of the key scale, it's very easy to understand. So the song starts like this. The first thing you hear is the F major chord. Also, the start of the chorus goes like, so it starts with an F, and the chorus also ends with also an F. So obviously, the song is going to follow the F major scale. However, there are little exceptions. If we play out the melody, it goes like, so as you can see, it uses the flat D, which is not part of the F major scale. Also, during the chorus, you have again, you have the flat D plus the flat E as well. These are the kinds of minor changes that we've seen before, where we take the flat 6 and flat 7 of the scale to make the melody sound closer to the minor scale. But in this case, these changes are only temporary. The flat 6 and flat 7 are not used systematically throughout the song. And so the key scale stays on the F major, it's just at these specific times, we are borrowing notes from the F minor scale in order to create this temporary tension, but that tension immediately gets resolved at the next line. Next up, we can look at the chords being used. And I think this is the most brilliant part of the song. So right at the beginning, we have something like, so what happened here was that the right hand was playing a very consistent riff. It was every time. Nothing changed about this riff. But the left hand cycled through a bunch of different chords. We had F major, A minor, B flat major, and back to F major. In order to write this kind of music, what you have to do is find a melody that works with multiple chords at the same time. And that's not easy to do because most of the time, if you write a melody, it's geared toward one specific key scale and therefore one specific chord. The idea that you can keep the same melody but change the chord underneath and have it still sound good is called reharmonization. And this technique is going to be used very heavily in the song. For another example, we can look at the chorus where it goes, you see that the same melody line was paired with B flat major chord as well as B flat minor chord. But the best usage of this technique happens in the middle of the song. That's after the second chorus, and it goes like this. So here, as is customary for the middle part of the song, we suddenly jump into a different chord progression. The song up to this point has been following the chord progression with F major, A minor, B flat major, and C major. But as soon as we jump into the middle part, we start using the D minor chord, and that's followed with B flat major, F major, and C major. Jumping into a different chord progression is pretty common for this part of the song because this is after the second chorus. We've already basically heard the same thing twice. If we keep going with essentially the same stuff, then the song risks getting boring. So this is the time to change things up, add a little bit of tension, And then if we follow that up with another repetition of the chorus, then that will serve to neatly resolve the tension that's built up in this middle segment here. Even in this segment, you notice that the melody goes essentially just that, repeated 3 times. And that's paired with D minor, B flat major, and F chords. So that's yet another example of reharmonization. What's even more amazing is what happens to the chorus after that. Toward the end of the middle part, what we have is that's the end of the middle part. Next, we're going back to the chorus, except the chorus actually plays out like this. So the melody stays the same, but you notice that the chord progression is still the same one that we used for the middle part. That is D minor, B flat major, F major, C major. This is not the same chord progression that was used the first 2 times the chorus was played. This serves as a gentle transition from the middle part back to the chorus by changing one piece at a time. First, it changes the melody over to the chorus without changing the underlying chord progression. Then right after this, when the chorus repeats for one final time, then it switches over to the original chord progression that we're all familiar with to finish off the song. I find this to be a fascinating technique, and it's written beautifully so the song feels seamless from start to finish without any jarring sudden changes. This is even reflected in the MV, where basically at this part where it transitions from the middle part over to the chorus, what the characters are doing is they're climbing a ladder. A ladder represents going from one floor to another, and the characters are doing it step by step instead of, I'm kidding. There is no interpretation for this one, it just sounds good, okay? So overall, this wasn't a highly complex song, but it's a brilliant usage of all these little tricks that work together to make this song so beautiful.